I'm presuming it would mean that the Speaker and the Deputy Speakers would not be allowed to vote. But this brings us to another interesting point, which is that, as you will know, Mr Deputy Speaker, the standing orders of this House and the custom of this House is that the Speaker and the Chair does not vote unless there is an equality of votes, different from in the other House where the Speaker or the Chair of a committee is able to vote twice. Now, the commonly accepted provision has then been that the Speaker, it is usual for him, so it says in Erskine May, when practicable, to vote in such a manner as not to make the decision of the House final. Now, in such a vote, there wouldn't have been equality of votes, but if one had got to 433, does that mean that the Speaker would be allowed to vote or would not be allowed to vote? Now, it's slightly complicated in relation to 650 seats, but if we go down to 600 seats, as is suggested in the government's proposals in the other bill, then it will be 400 seats, which would be the mark that we would have to get to. Now, if it's on a knife edge, would the Speaker and the Deputy Speakers be allowed to vote, or the Chair of the committee be able to vote in such a measure? And this is important that it's not just about the Speaker, because, of course, if it was on a budget and one were to take the advice of the Honourable Member for Aldridge Brownhills that in some situations a budget decision or a financial decision would be considered a motion of no confidence, then, of course, the provision would be in relation not to the Speaker, but the Chairman of Ways and Means who would be chairing, or one of the other committee chairmen. So there are indeed, as my honourable friend says, many difficult elements about the way in which a supermajority would be able to operate. But the biggest problem of all is, let's say the government had decided to table a motion seeking to get to that figure, or for that matter the opposition had tabled a motion wanting to get to an early general election, and it got more than half the seats in the House, but it didn't get to the 2/3,